Welcome to Xero Hero, a short video blog from HBA Encompass aimed to make your Xero journey easier. Please note that all the slides today have been created from existing Xero training videos. Xero has rapidly changed in the past few years, so sometimes the pictures are using old screenshots or overseas versions. Where possible, each session is followed up by a live demonstration. If you have any queries regarding any content delivered today, feel free to contact me via email, victoria@hbaencompass.com.au or phone 0754 447094. Welcome to Payroll Reporting. Before you go through and prepare any summaries, you need to make sure that you've had a look at your reports and that things balance off. Xero have done some new reports of late, which allow your payroll administrator to run the reports basically at will and whatever kind of criteria that you want to pull up. So we'll go through it here on the PowerPoint, and then we'll log in and we'll have a look. Xero suggests that the transaction list details is good for reviewing payroll transactions, and it's just a matter of going to reports and then transaction listing detail report. Then you can select your employees, your date range, or the pay type. So as I mentioned here, the employees, you can either do all, you can do a group or individual employees. You can do this month, last quarter, this year, last year, or you can select the date that you actually want to run it for. And you can either leave the pay type blank, which means it reports on everything, or you can select the ones that you want to have a look at. So if there's something that you want to check is correct, this report's really handy for that one. The other thing is that once you've done it, it pulls up a report and it shows by employee, the date, who it is, the group if they have one, the earnings type, so it comes in as alphabetical, and then the pay item. But you can actually search here, and you can search for different things that like they've typed in here Melbourne, so you can search all things that create Melbourne. So if you have different employees in different states or different areas, you can search by different offices if it makes it quicker. Once you've done that, you can work out how you want to have a look at it, because you might find that some of the information there, like perhaps the group, you don't want to see because you mightn't have groups in there. So if you click on the little button at the top here, you can see this little bookie type one. You can select the ones that you want to see across your screen, so you're not looking at everything if it's not relevant. And the other thing is that you can group them by employee group, by pay item, or by pay type, which might make it a little bit easier for you to have a look at if you're trying to review things. The other thing, of course, is that you can export to either PDF or Excel and sort to your heart's content in there as well if you can't get what Xero has looking the way that you would like it to look, which could either mean that it's a different way of looking at it, you just need to get your head around it, or it could be, I used to get these reports from a different system in one way, I want to have a look at them at the same way so I know what I'm looking at. So it's up to you what you want to do from there. So have a good look around the new reports, and as I mentioned, you can analyse any information to help you manage your payroll. So there's quite a lot of reports that are here under the payroll report. There is a payroll summary details, but there's another report which we'll get to when we actually go live, which I find is the most useful one. Xero has its suggestion there of the payroll listing, when it gives a listing of everything that's happened by person or by pay, whereas the summary ones are the ones we usually like to have a look at, so we'll come into that one shortly. So let's first have a look at our reports. So click on Reports and All Reports, and your payroll reports are down the bottom. Now they're suggesting that you look at your payroll activity summary, which we'll pull up and have a look at. You want to go to last financial year and update. And so what it does for everyone, it shows you what the earnings are what the deductions are and what the tax is, what the super is, so that you can then check that to what's on your general ledger. I personally find this report's a bit long and a bit of a pain in the butt. So the one that I use is I go to the payroll employee summary. And all it does is it just tabulates it a different way. So you've got your earnings, your deductions, your tax, your super. So you can check here that your earnings equals your wages in your general ledger. Check that your super equals your super in your general ledger. Quite often if your super doesn't balance, it's because when you've coded the actual super payment, you've put it to super expense instead of to super liability. And the same with wages. Instead of when you actually pay it, you've coded it to wages rather than to wages payable. And that's generally the main reason why your general ledgers don't balance. Not that payroll doesn't balance, but someone's coded something in the bank account incorrectly. My name's Victoria Berry. I'm one of the directors of HBA Encompass. So if you need to contact me, my email address is victoria@hbaencompass.com.au, or of course our phone number is 0754 44 7094. Thanks for listening.